Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Surprise Jab Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ruger, surprising you with new topics every single week and jabbing you with your daily dose of UFC. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been a hiatus, episode 88. This has probably been the longest I've gone without uploading an episode. It's been close to 2 weeks, I'd say. Close to 2 weeks. We've just been so busy in life with my junior year of college wrapping up, coming to an end. Just been absolutely just out of it. I mean, I was supposed to make one Thursday, then Friday, but the creative juices just were not flowing. The creative juices were not there, but we are here. It is Monday, a brand new week. Lots of opportunities this week for your good old host, Zachary. We got internship interview coming up. Well, hoping we can get some, really hoping we can get something there as well. We're doing a little job next week, actually, to make some money. And, of course, signing up for classes next year. I mean, it's a jam-packed. Summer's going to be busy. I'm excited for it. I'm happy where my life is headed. New opportunities springing up all the time. And just so you all know, you are currently speaking to the current and new, I should say, not current, and new president of the marketing club. That's right. I won president of the marketing club. I was also told my sales presentation was one of the best presentations my teachers ever heard. So I'm super excited for that. And I'm also excited for today's episode. Pretty chill day. If you ask me, we're going to be checking in with the NBA and NHL as their playoffs continue to rage on. As well, we're going to be reviewing the Fallout series, which I finished a while ago, but it's about time I reviewed it. Going to be talking about some new fights that have been announced in the past few days. And as well, we're going to be recapping UFC Vegas 91. And I didn't necessarily make official predictions, but I did kind of have in mind who I would have picked, so I'll just bring that up when we do our little recap to end the episode. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it. I'm excited to talk about all the things that have gone down in the last few days. And in the last few days, I'll say last 10 or 15, we've had a numerous amount of fight announcements, some of which I'm very, very excited for. Let's start off with one of the more bigger ones as of late. We have an official main event for UFC Louisville going down June 8th. That's right, the UFC will be going to Louisville, Kentucky. That is one of the most random locations I think they could have chosen. I don't know what to make of it, but in our main event, we have the number 4 ranked middleweight Jared Cannonier taking on the number 8 ranked Nasruddin Imavov. I'm pumped for this fight. Jared, the killer gorilla Cannonier, he hasn't fought since, who did Jared even beat last? I think the last time Jared Cannonier fought was when he beat Sean Strickland. It's been a while since Jared Cannonier last fought. I mean, but he beat Marvin Vettori last year. I completely forgot about that. So happy to see Jared back in the octagon as well. He takes on the rising up-and-comer Nasruddin Imavov, who is 5-2 in the UFC, 13-4 professionally. I mean, biggest win of his career earlier in this year, actually, over Roman Dolidze. So we'll see how this goes. I'm probably leaning Nasruddin just because I like to go with the newer guy over the older guy, and I just think because of grappling. But Nasruddin will have to be careful because Jared has serious power in those hands. He's not called the killer gorilla for no reason. Another fight I'm excited has been announced. Dominic Reyes is officially back. The number 14th ranked light heavyweight in the world takes on Dustin Jacoby. Dominic Reyes, man, 4-fight losing streak ever since his fight with John Jones. He just hasn't been the same. He's been knocked out by Jan Blachowicz. He's been knocked out by Dre Prohaska. Been knocked out by Ryan Spann. So hopefully Dominic can get back into the win column. I think this is a perfect opportunity too against someone like Dustin Jacoby, who's 19-8 professionally. I mean, I think the last time Dustin fought, he lost. Was it to Azmat Mirzakhanov? Or might have been to Vitor Petrino. I can't remember who the guy last fought, but happy to see that fight, and I'm definitely going to ride with Dominic Reyes. Unfortunate fight that has been made is in the flyweight division, going down at UFC 302 on June 1st in Newark, New Jersey. Tatsuro Taira will be taking on Joshua Van. Tatsuro Taira currently ranked number 13th in the division, and he's 15-0 professionally, 5-0, and they're deciding to match him up with Joshua Van, who's 10-1, 3-0 in the UFC. I understand this is short notice, so props to Josh Van for taking this fight. But why are we having two young up-and-comers fight each other when these two two could easily fight for a title or a title eliminator one day. It just pisses me off that they're doing this. This has happened with Matus Gamrot and Guram Kuladze. It's happened with Matus Gamrot and Islam Makhachev. And not Islam Makhachev, Arman Sarukian. So sometimes it works out, but I don't know how this is going to work out in this case. And I think Tatsuo Otero is an absolute killer, but I'm still excited for that fight nonetheless. As much as I don't want it to be made, I still think it'll be fun. Another fight that'll be coming at you. Number 11 ranked Joaquin Buckley will be taking on Nursultan Ruzaboyev in the co-main event for UFC St. Louis on May 11th. So actually coming up in roughly 12 days. Joaquin Buckley coming off his big win over Vicente Luque. Obviously an interesting win, if you ask me. I don't really know what to make of it. But he was gone to be the main event of this UFC St. Louis card. But instead, the UFC decided to give him a co-main event spot as he takes on the 36-8 Nursultan Black Ruzaboyev with 33 finishes. This guy's a killer. This guy's a killer. 2 fights in the UFC, both round 1 knockouts. I mean, this is an absolute banger of a fight. I'm excited for it, and Joaquin Buckley, he has his hands completely full with this one, but yet to lose at welterweight. We'll see how he handles Nursultan Black Ruzaboyev. I mean, he just has a menacing name. When you have a menacing name, it just carries some enigma with it, if you will. On the less exciting side of things, UFC 303, that's right, the big event headlined by Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, officially has another fight added to that card. Former title challenger Mayra Bueno Silva, currently ranked number 3 in the women's bantamweight division, will take on number 7th ranked Macy Chiasson. And honestly, in the women's bantamweight division, anyone can get a big win and get a title shot. I think it'll be an interesting fight. I'm certainly I wouldn't say excited for it, but I mean, I'm always interested to see how these women perform, because sometimes you get Kayla Harrison domination, that's beautiful, and then sometimes you get a women's title fight where it goes 5 rounds and nothing happens. And I'm actually just falling asleep, and I'm kind of just going, okay, why am I even watching this? There's no point. But yeah, a lot of other fights. Mike Mallett's back in action. He takes on Gilbert Urbina on July 13th. Mike Mallett was previously undefeated in the UFC, 3-0. Both finishes, they were all great. And he shockingly lost to Neil Magny with like 30 seconds left. So hopefully he can get that one back. As well, you have Gabriel Bonfim taking on Angelusa on that same July 13th card. Gabriel Bonfim was 15-0 when he shockingly got TKO'd by Nicholas Dalby. I'm always interested to see if these guys can get back the wins after they suffer some losses. I don't know if it's going to work out for them, but we'll see. That's all I can really say for a lot of these guys, is we'll see how they perform when they get a second chance at redemption. But other than that, I mean, of course, they announced they're going to St. Louis and Louisville. I'm sure more locations will pop up. UFC 304 is going down in Manchester, England, so you can expect Leon Edwards, Tom Aspinall, Patty Pimblett, Molly McCann. They're going to bring out all the big guns for that card. Of course, UFC 305 in August. In August, will be going down in Melbourne, Australia. I think it is. UFC 306 is at the Sphere in September. I think 307 is in October at some point. That might be the Abu Dhabi card, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it might have been 308, but we'll see. A lot of big fights to come for the rest of the year, but those have just been some of the more interesting ones, some of the more prominent names that we know, at least when it comes to our little prediction videos that we do. Speaking of, I have no idea. I didn't have a transition, unfortunately, but I've been watching. I finished the Fallout show. Came out on Amazon Prime on April 11th. I mean, that didn't last long. They ended almost every episode with you wanting more. Absolutely amazing. It is, of course, based off of the video games. The Fallout video games, which I've tried to play Fallout 4 a couple times. I mean, just never really gave it a full opportunity. I know it's a great game, but essentially, the Fallout show, it takes place in a futuristic, dystopian future where the entire world used nuclear bombs and completely destroyed everything and mutated everyone. And I mean, it is a wild show. I mean, the official genre for this is action, black comedy, which is essentially dark comedy, drama, post-apocalyptic, satire, science fiction, western. It's amazing. Ella Purnell, she stars as, I don't know if it's listing her name officially in here. Lucy, she plays Lucy. Absolutely amazing lead in this film. Absolutely amazing lead. essentially he leaves the vaults. They got these vaults, which of course you use to survive the nuclear apocalypse. And it's all she's known, but she soon finds out the truth that everything's been a lie to her and that she has to, to reclaim her destiny. She's amazing in this. The second lead, if you will, not even the side lead, it's kind of like a 3-lead show. Aaron Clifton Moten, he plays Maximus, who's a squire of the Brotherhood of Steel, essentially in the army. They wear these giant suits. He's hilarious in this. He has some great one-liners, some funny moments, and I've loved his character in this film, especially, him wanting not to be the guy that, like, everyone looks to. He just wanted to serve his purpose, and he ends the film exactly where he doesn't want to be, which kind of sets it up for a season 2, which I believe is already confirmed by Amazon Prime. They already confirmed a season 2. That's how good the show was. As well as freaking Walton Goggins as Cooper Howard, a famous Hollywood actor. My goodness, he makes this show so good. Walton Goggins, I don't really want to call it a career revival. I mean, I don't really think he ever had a bad career, but it is insane how good acting he is in this. Imagine he also plays an actor. He's great in this. I love him. The entire show, I'm pretty sure, is set in, like, Los Angeles, like the Hollywood area. Of course, futuristic. As well, you have Moses Arias. He plays Lucy's sister. He's also great in this, his kind of character evolving. As well as Kyle MacLachlan, who plays sort of the villain you don't really find out till the end of the show, as Hank McClane is. And this is something that I could easily see them running for a lot of series. It is fun. There were some great guests, guest spots in this film. I'm trying to find the big actor on who he was. I know he was in a show with, oh man, what is it? Michael Emerson. He is in this show for a bit. He is absolutely amazing. Michael Emerson, a great actor. He was in, what was Michael Emerson in? He was in Lost. I never saw it. Person of Interest. I used to watch that on CBS all the time. That was always such a mysterious show. But he's great in this. 8 episodes. I mean, shortest was like 45 minutes. Longest was like an hour and 15 minutes. It was super fun. I don't really want to give too much away in case you want to watch this, but essentially, they also like title every episode the same, which I always think is fun. Like the first episode is called The End. First one is called The Beginning. You have like the target, the head, the ghouls, the past. They know exactly what they're doing with this, which is why I absolutely love. I also find it fascinating that you have first off, I didn't even know this until I just read this out, but you have the first 3 episodes directed by Jonathan Nolan. You then have the 4th one directed by Daniel Gray Lorgino. You have the 5th directed by Claire Kilner, and the 6th, 7th directed by Frederick Toy and Claire Kirlner, and then you have the last one directed by Wayne Yip, which I always find it interesting when they have different directors directing different parts of a show. It blends together well. I know The Mandalorian does that, but it never really feels like a different episode every single time. It kind of flows nicely, which I very much like. But this is all canon to the video games as well, which is super, super fascinating. They also have CX404, who is a dog. He's this German Shepherd, and the amount of times you think that dog dies, it just riles you up. Especially there's a scene, I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, but there's a scene in episode 1 or 2 where essentially the ghoul, Walton Goggins' character, he kills the dog, but he brings him back to life with like a health revival or whatever. And it kind of like right when he did it, I was like so pissed because you just hate when animals die in films, but perfectly sets it up for another good season. I honestly give this show a 9.1 out of 10. You know me, I'm always stingy with my reviews. This gets a 9.1 out of 10 for me. I've loved what I've seen so far, and I'm assuming I'm going to have to wait 1.5 to 2 years, judging by how long Amazon Prime takes to bring out a series, but I will happily wait. Fallout, you are an amazing show, and I hear they might even bring back Fallout 5, or they're working on a Fallout 5 video game, so the Fallout series in general is heading in a great direction. Also heading in a great direction is the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you haven't heard, the Minnesota Timberwolves are moving on to the second round. Absolutely crazy. We swept the Phoenix Suns. I could not be more happy. I'm ecstatic. We got the big win last night. Karl-Anthony Towns dropped 28 points. Anthony Edwards had 40 points. Oh my goodness, crazy. Jaden McDaniels, 18, as we won by 6 over the Phoenix Suns. And honestly, the whole series whole series. I mean, games were close essentially like the whole time, but then just we always pulled away at the end. I mean, we won game 1 by 17. Timberwolves took game 2 by I can't even tell. Oh, that was game 3. What did we take game 1 in? What did we take game 1? We won game 2 by 12. Game 1, I'm pretty sure, was our biggest win. Yeah, we won by 25 points. Anthony Edwards almost clearly averaged over 30 points per game in this. Absolutely amazing. Right now for the standings, as it's looking, heading into Monday night, April 29th, the Clippers and Mavericks are currently tied at 2-2. Been a very close series. Clippers were able to win game 4, which was in Dallas, actually. Indianapolis Pacers, currently your 6th seed, are beating the 3-seeded Bucks 3-1 in the series. I don't know if Giannis and Dame is going to make it. And I've just seen constantly in the last few years, super teams, when you combine 2 big superstars, it never works out. You know, Anthony Edwards, we drafted him, he became a star. Bringing in Rudy Gobert, we already had Karl-Anthony Towns, Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley. The Timberwolves is a perfect example of a well-knit group of guys that just happens to blend well together. So I'm excited for that. Game 4 of the Celtics and Heat goes down tonight. Boston's currently up 2-1, but the momentum has swung with the Heat shockingly winning without Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo. I'm rooting for the Heat. Celtics are frauds. I guarantee they won't even make it to the third round, or the semifinals. Whatever is it? I don't think they're winning if they do win this series. Nuggets are on sweeper territory of the Lakers. They're currently up 3-1 in the series. They were up 3-0, but LeBron was able to get them one more win to make it 3-1. And I think all time teams are 0-154 when down 3-0 in a series in the NBA. So if LeBron could do this, if he could come back from 3-0 against the defending champions, he just might be the GOAT. I kid you not. I'm a Michael Jordan who's the GOAT guy, but if LeBron does that, I might have to give him his props. Elsewhere on the bracket, Thunder are currently up 3-0, most likely going to sweep the Pelicans. I mean, Pelicans just haven't had a prayer. Saturday, I think the Thunder won. What was it actually? Thunder won 106-85. There's a well-knit group. Josh Giddey's dropping 20. Shea's dropping 20. Jalen Williams is dropping 20. And I don't think the Pelicans don't have Zion, which is an absolute killer to their hopes. Very unfortunate. A shocker, the Knicks are actually up 3-1 over the 76ers. Came back from down 15 the other night. It is shaping up nicely. So Timberwolves, first team to advance from what I'm seeing. They will play the winner of the Nuggets and Lakers, which is looking to be the Nuggets. After that, of course, the Thunder. I mean, it's up in the air who the Thunder will play, most likely if they sweep. Clippers, Mavericks, they trade back and forth about who does best. Luka and Kyrie have a great game. Kawhi and Paul George have a great game. We'll see what happens. Knicks, it's looking like they're going to get it done. It's looking like they're going to be taking on the Pacers. So you could potentially be seeing the Knicks or Pacers in the semifinals, the Eastern Finals, which is crazy. Man, I don't really know what to expect out of the Heat. You know, if they could get past the Celtics, that'd be cool. But they're definitely in for a tight matchup as they take on the Magic and Cavs winner. Magic and Cavaliers series is currently tied up 2-2. So tonight you'll find out if the Thunder, Nuggets, will make it, and you'll decide if the Celtics go up 3-1 in their series, or if the Heat can kind of pull things together and get it back on track as the NBA playoffs rages on. I mean, I haven't really been able to catch too many of the games. When the Timberwolves are on, I'm always making sure to check in, but other than that, I not really gonna say I don't care enough, but there's not really an interest level for me. NHL is the other series we wanted to talk about. Of course, all my buddies, we have Jane and Cole on. They've been without a doubt watching this, and it's been pretty good from what I've been told. I've been told all the series have been pretty entertaining. Your number one seed Golden Knights or the Stars, the number one seed Stars, are currently down 2-1 in the series against the Golden Knights, who are the 8th seed. Which I always love stuff like that. We love upsets like that. Boston Bruins, they're currently up 3-1 over the Maple Leafs. I think I had the Maple Leafs win in one of my brackets. Florida Panthers are currently up 3-1 in the series over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Edmonton Oilers are up 3-1 over the King. Connor McDavid looking to finally make it to the second round. Rangers swept their series against the Capitals. They did it last night, winning 4-2. For the Rangers, you had one goal coming from Artemi Panarin, one from Capo Kako, one from Jack Roslock, and one from Vincent Trocheck. I'm sure I've butchered all of those names, but they've been fun to say nonetheless. The Avalanche currently up over the Winnipeg Jets 3-1, looking like they're going to be advancing. Other than that, Carolina Hurricanes up over the Islanders 3-1. A lot of 3-1s. Canucks up 2-1 over the Predators in their series. We'll see what happens, honestly. A lot's obviously transpired. In recent news, NHL teams have impressed and flopped so far in the Cup playoffs from ESPN. I would be interested to hear this, actually. And now that I've read it, you need ESPN Plus, which I don't have. How about that? Everyone's just money hungry now. I can't even just casually check in on who the freaking best teams have been in the playoffs and who's been the worst. If we could get an official bracket, that would be nice. Looking to see who lines up with who. I know some sites don't really like to post the straight up bracket, which I don't get. I feel like it'd make it more easy. First round so far, leading scorers, Sam Reinhart, Nikita Kucherov, no shocker there. That's kind of for the whole series. They're not really given anything straight up when you go to some of these sites. Here we go. We finally got a bracket from the official NHL. So, winner of the Golden Knights and Stars will play the winner of the Avalanche and Jets. It's looking like at the moment might be Golden Knights and Avalanche in the second round. Pretty interesting. Vancouver Canucks currently up 3-1 over the Predators. Oilers, of course, up 3-1 over the Lakers. We could be getting a Canucks and Oilers matchup in the second round. I think the favorite is the Stars, but currently down a game to the Golden Knights. I don't know if that's going to work out. Florida Panthers, your number one seed. They're manhandling the Lightning. Looks like they'll be playing the Bruins if the Bruins can get past the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Rangers will be taking on the Hurricanes, most likely. Nothing's really close. Certain the best teams are all pulling away. The only upsets we're seeing are the Avalanche over the Jets, the Golden Knights maybe over the Stars, and other than that, everything in the East is just blowout after blowout. But the games are close. Everything I've been told, the games are close. I've been told there have been some overtime heaters and such. Like I said, it's hard to really recap every single one of the games. I'm sure we could go through every series, go through every point, but this kind of just keeps anyone who casually watches updated about what's going on in the NHL. And speaking of what's going on in other leagues, the UFC, of course, had their 91st Apex event. Holy cow. And I think it was one of the better ones from what I've seen. There were some shocking moments on the card without a doubt. I was able to catch a couple of the fights, not really all of them, but let's go in, let's recap all 13 of the fights, and give our thoughts about what could be next for each of the fighters. Let's do it. Kicking off our little Apex card here, we had a lightweight matchup between Mahashat and Gabriel Benitez. Gabriel Benitez stepping in on short notice, and Mahashat coming away with the split decision win here. Do I know how? No, I did not see this, but from observation, Gabriel Benitez did outstrike Mahashat. 121 significant strikes to 97. Same for the total. So, round 1, outstruck him by 2. Round 2, outstruck him by 8. Round 3, outstruck him by 14. If I'm being honest, I don't really know how Gabriel was able to do this, but yeah, I'm kind of speechless. But Mahashat back in the win column. First win since June of 2022. Snaps a 2-fight losing streak. Good stuff for him. As for Gabriel Benitez, it's now a 2-fight losing streak for him, and he's 1-4 in his last 5. So there's a reason this was the fight to open up the early prelims. I really can't explain since I didn't watch what happened, but yeah, unfortunate result. Unless it wasn't a result, damage-wise, I have no words. Next fight up, women's flyweight, and I already knew this woman was going to get it done. Ivana Petrovic took on Liang Na in the women's flyweight division, and Ivana Petrovic got her first UFC win with a round 3 arm triangle. She had previously debuted last July and lost unanimous decision, but now back in the win column. Good for our Ivana. Landed 3 takedowns in the fight for almost 6 minutes of control time. Outstruck Liang Na By looks of it, Liang Na actually took round 1, I think. Ivana took round 2, and then round 3 carried the momentum in and was able to cinch in an arm triangle. Liang Na, this will be her 4th straight loss, 0-4 in the UFC. Was finished in every single fight. Definitely going to be cut. I have no idea how she even got into the UFC. But Ivana Petrovic, good win for her. 30 years old, actually 29 at the moment. We'll see where she goes from here. But, I mean, sky's the limit when you're getting a little finish early on the prelims. Good stuff for Ivana Petrovic. Then, next up, I don't even know what happened in this one, because neither of these guys' names are on my radar. But James Lontop got submitted by Chris Padilla in the men's lightweight division in round number 1. By the looks of it, James was winning on the feet. Chris just kept shooting takedowns, 3 of 3 for a minute and 20 seconds, and was able to cinch in a rear naked choke. Chris Padilla taking this fight on short notice. James Lontop was coming from Dana White's Contender Series back in September. He picked up a win over Malik Lewis, but in this debut, did not go well for him. Did not go well for him. Chris Padilla getting his 14th career victory. Good stuff for these guys, but I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, and I think that's what's really troubling me, is James Lontop doesn't ring a bell. Chris Padilla doesn't ring a bell, but it looks like they're both under the age of 30, just by a bit, 25 and 27. Good win, Chris. That's all I can say. That, you know, you're getting 2 random guys who no one's ever really heard of on the early prelims of a show without a crowd. It just speaks to the level that the UFC puts out here. But good win. That's all I can say. I think I picked James Lontop in my unofficial predictions, but it is what it is. After that, we head to the women's strawweight division, where Ketlin Souza picked up a unanimous decision victory in this fight. Ketlin Souza had previously lost last June, but now back in the win column for her 14th win. This one, I mean, had Marnik McMahon's number on the feet, 80 significant strikes to 31. Total strikes, though, 111 to 93 in favor of Marnik McMahon. She went 2 of 5 on takedowns at a 40% rate to get just under 3 minutes control time. Ketlin Souza 1 of 2 on takedowns for just over 3 minutes control time. For this fight, they gave Ketlin Souza every round. She outstruck her in round 1, outstruck her in round 2, and outstruck her in round 3. I mean, just had her number. Good stuff for her. Marnik McMahon now 0-2 in the UFC, including a loss on Dana White's Contender Series. I guarantee she will not be back. There's no way they're bringing her back. But Ketlin Souza, 29 years old, turns 30 this year, getting a good win. You know, the women's strawweight division will always take more fighters. We always will. It just speaks to it. Did go the distance, so not the most exciting fight, but you get a thumbs up, Ketlin. I think Ketlin Souza is super talented in judo or something, so it just kind of speaks to her striking abilities. Marnik McMahon, I mean, just 6-3 professionally. Don't know how she got a UFC fight in the first place. Following that, we head to our third to last UFC prelim of the night, and we go to the men's heavyweight division, where Dontel Mays gets the unanimous decision victory over Caio Machado. And let me just tell you, these are just 2 mediocre, if anything below mediocre, heavyweights going at it. Dontel Mays actually dropped Caio Machado in round 1, thought he was going to get the finish, but no, Caio hangs on. Dontel wins round 2, narrowly outstrikes him by just 1 significant strike, 26-25 in favor of Mays. And then Caio Machado outstrucks him by 11 in the final round, 32-21. Gets the win, or Dontel Mays didn't. Caio Machado, turned it on too late. Maybe if it was a 5-round fight, but just atrocious. Dontel Mays, first win since June of last year. He suffered a loss in November to Rodrigo Nascimento. But, 2-2 in his last 4 fights. He's just very, very subpar. Very subpar is all I can describe his performance. And as for Caio Machado, now 0-2 in the UFC, both unanimous decision losses. He previously won on Dana White's Contender Series in August. There's no hype from this guy. He's 29. There's nothing. I have no excitement with him. Dontel Mays, 33 years old, getting it done. But, there's just nothing. You're just not, these fighters are not going to be able to hang with the other heavyweights. You match up Dontel Mays or Caio Machado against, I'm going to say, number 12 and up in the men's heavyweight division. You're not standing a chance. The heavyweight division is on absolute fire. Big question right now is when John Jones will return. I'm assuming he's still going to fight Stipe. You have number 3 ranked Sergey Pavlovich take on number 6 Alexander Volkov this summer. Tom Aspinall is either going to be fighting number 2 ranked Cyril Gane or number 5 ranked Curtis Blades. Holt Almeida's got a fight coming up. I mean, division's on absolute fire, but you got these unranked guys who there's no hype with them. Absolutely no hype. Pretty much from our next fight on, it was after this fight, I'll say the fights were pretty good from here. Our second last prelim, we head to the men's. Where are they fighting now? Lightweight division, as Austin Hubbard picked up a split decision win or unanimous decision win over Michael Figlak. But on the verdict scorecard, every single round was scored significantly for Michael Figlak. So I don't exactly know how Austin Hubbard got the win here. Totals from the fight, 92 significant strikes to 88 in favor of Michael Figlak. Total strikes 100 to 99 in favor of Michael Figlak. Austin Hubbard did go 3 of 7 on takedowns, 48 seconds control time. Michael Figlak actually went 0 of 3, but still managed to get a minute and 37 seconds of control time. I mean, we go through every single round, and it's just Figlak outstriking him. Actually, round 1 he did, and round 2 he did. Round 3, round 2 was Hubbard's best round. Round 3 was Michael Figlak's. Probably, I have no idea. I didn't really catch this fight. I just heard that, Austin Hubbard wasn't the guy to win. But I'll be honest, if you're losing, if it's even a close fight, you shouldn't be in the UFC. Michael Figlak was 8-0 professionally, has now lost his 2 UFC fights to Ferziam and Austin Hubbard, both by unanimous decision. Really no hype from the guy. And as for Austin Hubbard, I mean, just zero hype from this guy. Gets his first win since April 2021 in the UFC. Yeah, there's just nothing exciting about this. Striking's not exciting. The grappling isn't exciting. I don't know what to tell you. There were much better fights on the main card. These prelims were some of the worst. But on a good note, we capped off the prelims in the men's bantamweight division with a round 3 TKO finish as Victor Henry beats Rani Yaha by TKO. And no shocker here. Domination from Victor Henry. Round 1, though, Rani outstruck him significantly, 21-19. Shot 6 takedowns. Wasn't able to get any. Really was using his clinching and stuff. Pretty close. But after that, it was all Victor Henry. Round 2, 56 significant strikes to 24, and he knocked him down. Round 3, 34 significant strikes to 9. Dropped him 2. I mean, Victor Henry was in his bag. Credit to Victor Henry, getting his first win since March of 2023. How about that? It had been over a year. First finish in the UFC. Impressive stuff. As for Rania, this guy's 40 years old. He's now been TKO'd in back-to-back fights. Probably time to call it quits. Victor Henry, though, 36 years old himself. Not a spring chicken whatsoever. I am a little surprised he's still even in the UFC. But, you know what? Good stuff for him. Good stuff for Victor. Bantamweight division is very deep, though. I don't really see there's any room for him to move up in the rankings. But getting a win will keep you in a position to keep fighting in the UFC. So there you have it. I did think Victor would win, so that was no shocker to me. And I honestly thought he'd knock him out in round 2 or something. But we almost nailed it. So close. Main card, that's actually, so through the prelims, just from my casual picks, I'd have picked Gabriel Benitez over Mahashan, so that's kind of unfortunate. I was going to pick Ivana Petrovic to get a submission, so that's a W. Chris Padilla, James Lontop was just a toss-up, and I didn't know anything about Chris. Ketlin Souza, I knew she'd beat Marnik Man. Donta Miz and Cal Machado, I think I just picked Kyle just because of coin toss. Hubbard and Figlak, same thing, coin toss, land on the wrong side, and Victor Henry. There's just no shot. Really, was getting that win. Main card gets kicked off, though, and it starts off with a bang. Our first performance of the night goes to Uros Medic, who gets his 10th career victory, his 10th career finish, as he knocks out Tim Means with an uppercut in 2 minutes. Get this guy a high-ranked opponent. He's fun. Uros Medic is so fun to watch and just did not disappoint here. 2 minutes, 9 seconds in, and Tim Means was melted with an uppercut. So this was hype to see. I actually saw this on Twitter first, so that was pretty fascinating to see. And I checked in. I was like, oh my gosh, Uros Medic absolutely got the finish. Medic gets his first win since July of last year. He'd previously lost in November, getting submitted. So he's fun. Of his 12 professional fights, they've never gone the distance. He's been finished twice, and he's finished guys 10 times. That was funny to say. Uros, where is he at career-wise? 31 years old, getting a win here. I like his spot. 3-1 in his last 4. I don't really know if he's looking towards a ranking spot, if I'm being honest. Someone like Bobby Green could be a fun opponent for him, even a rematch with Jalen Turner. But I mean, there's that. Tim Means, 40 years old, 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Been finished in 3 of those. He's near the end. I think he's just going to be a gatekeeper, fight forever. However, if you're getting knocked out in 2 minutes, it certainly does not sit pretty. It does not sit pretty at all. Tim Means actually somehow got a win over Andre Fiallo, finished him back in September. That was interesting. I predicted that correctly somehow. I don't even know how I did that. But yes, good job to Heroes Medic. 50K bonus as well. He'll take that. He'll take that any day of the week. You love to see it. After that, we had probably the fight of the night, even though there wasn't really a fight of the night. David Onama taking on Jonathan Pierce in the men's featherweight division. It did not disappoint. David Onama taking home the unanimous decision. This was just a war. And I mean competitive too. Totals from the fight, 58 significant strikes to 57 in favor of David Onama. 87 total strikes to 66 in favor of Jonathan Pierce. 5 of 14 on takedowns for Jonathan Pierce for just under 5 minutes of control time. David Onama, 2 minutes of control time just from during the fight. Crazy enough, on all 5 takedowns, David Onama reversed position. And actually, after reversing one of those positions one time, Pierce reversed it back. This was just back and forth the whole way. Round 1, David Onama, I just think, had this one, striking a bit better. Jonathan Pierce wasn't really doing too much. Round 2, I say, was Pierce's best round. 3 of 3 on takedowns, 3 minutes control time. Pretty much used the grappling in round 2. And then round 3, swinging for the fences. David Onama, 39 significant strikes to 38. This was his best round, without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind, this was his best round. Impressive stuff as well. We had a little Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje 2.0. These two were swinging for the final 10 seconds. No one got knocked down, but these two left it all out, and they are going nowhere. Yeah, no one's cutting these guys. No one's cutting these guys from the UFC, and I would love to see both of them in the rankings at some point. Obviously, the featherweight rankings, it's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd. You got killers back and forth, and it is a tough business, but I like both these guys. David Onama now on a 2-fight win streak, and you know what? He's 4-2 in the UFC, 4-1 in his last 5. Only losses are close fights. I like David Onama. A fight against Sodiq Yusuff would be an absolutely fantastic fight, in my opinion. Jonathan Pierce, 2-fight losing streak. But before that, he had been on a 5-fight win streak. You know, these guys will stick around. There's a lot of featherweights to fight. But I'm actually a fan of David Onama, so I personally root for him. You know, you get it, David. I'm happy for you. Happy for you, David. Don't really have a specific name in mind outside of the rankings. There's always so many different talents he could take on. We'll see where these guys go next. After that, we had to a heavyweight fight, and thank goodness this fight ended in round number 2. This was the last time I was picking Austin Lane. He's clearly not UFC caliber, and honestly, I question if Hanada Diaz is, but Hanada Diaz gets the win. A round 2 knockout punch over Austin Lane. And by the way, 50K bonus as well. Round 1, Austin Lane, 1 takedown, 4 minutes and 10 seconds control time, 35 total strikes to 5, 9 significant strikes to 1. Pretty much landed 1 takedown, held control the whole fight. Round 2, Hanada Diaz said, no, that's not happening. Defended 3 takedowns, dropped Austin Lane with I don't even know what it was. They were just swinging, clipped him with a left hook or something. Austin Lane literally stumbled for a second, went to grab the cage, and just face planted. No follow-up shots needed. Great debut for Hanada Diaz. Great debut. 7-0 now as well. And at 33 years old, you know, you need big wins like this. Got a round 1 TKO in Dana White's Contender Series, and now got a round 2 KO, plus 50K in your UFC debut. You'll love to see it. Austin Lane will probably be cut, and Hanada Diaz, I have a perfect opponent for you, Dontel Mays, or even Kyle Machado. It's probably Dontel Mays. I mean, both guys in a similar spot. Career-wise, I just, you know, there's just nothing really exciting. Nothing really exciting to do next with these guys, but Hanada Diaz getting a fun finish, I love to see. You're not going to get a ranked opponent, sorry to tell you that, but you will get approval. You get Zachary Ruger's approval, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes all you need is my approval, and that can go a long way. After that, we had our first ranked opponent. We had our second ranked fighters on the card. Did we have ranked women? Actually, no, these were our first ranked women, as Karine Silva took on Ariana Da Silva. Ariana Da Silva ranked number 12, Karine Silva ranked number 13, and Karine Silva gets unanimous decision victory thanks to her grappling. 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28. All the judges agreed Karine Silva did enough. Round one, though, I mean, might I say, Arena Da Silva, who used to be Ariana Lipski before she got married, actually had Karine's number. Karine landed one takedown, 1 minute and 58 seconds control time, but Silva had more total strikes, 20-15. After that, Karine Silva, round 2, 2 of 2 on takedowns, 3 minutes, 39 seconds of control time, outstruck her as well. Round 3, 2 of 3 on takedowns, 2 minutes control time, but did get outstruck by 13. Significantly, total strikes, 47-15. So maybe this was a bit controversial, but I think in a close fight like this, they gave it to the woman who had more momentum, and that was Karine Silva. 4th win in the UFC, first fight in years since she last didn't get a finish. I mean, she is a killer for a reason. Actually, I think this is the first time in her career she has never gotten a finish. That is the case. 18-4 now. The finish streak is snapped, but the win streak lives on in the double-digit category. And just the grappling. Grappling was the name of the game for this one. It'll propel her from ranking number 13 to ranking number 12. And I already see a name lined up for her. I'm looking at number 10 ranked Viviane Araujo. Maybe even number 9 ranked Amanda Hebus. Next for Karine Silva. Let's keep the momentum going. I love to see it. Ariana Lipski, this snaps a 3-fight win streak for her, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure she'll rebound. She can take on number 15 ranked Miranda Maverick in the women's flyweight division. I like Karine Silva. She's fun. She's feisty. This wasn't her best performance, but that should say a lot, being that, she is so young. She is so hungry to get more victories. I'm happy to see it. Co-main event, this is what I was excited to see. This is one of those fights that I was looking forward to, as we had number 11 ranked Ryan Spann taking on the unranked Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov, 16 victories. I'm pretty sure 10 or 11 of them coming from knockout, and he got another one today. Knocks out Ryan Spann in round number 2. Shocking. I doubted Bogdan. I was rooting for him secretly, but I was like a little hesitant. And Ryan Spann started off the fight going for takedowns. 1 of 2, 3.5 minutes. Ryan Spann did not want to stand with Bogdan Guskov. But round 2, Bogdan defended 1 takedown, let the hands fly out, struck him 28-9. And at the 3-minute 16 mark, John 3:16, Austin 3:16, TKOs Ryan Spann. He dropped him and then just doom. The Uzbekistan boy just laying into him. Good win for Bogdan. Second straight win, second straight finish in a 3-month span. You can't do much better than that, can you? Ryan Spann has now lost 3 straight fights. Unbelievable, Ryan Spann. They tried to push him to the top. They gave him Anthony Smith fights multiple times, Dominic Reyes fights, Nikita Krylov fights, and it just never paid off. Ryan Spann's just clearly not to that level. We should have known when he went to a split decision against Sam Alvey he wasn't that good. But, maybe Bogdan is just that guy. Maybe Bogdan Caesarevich. What a fun nickname that is. Sounds like a Russian Caesar. Yeah, got it done. Good win for Bogdan. He'll be ranked number 11th, I'm assuming, come Tuesday's ranking update, which I'm excited for. I'm excited to see where everyone lands. And after this, I don't know. Who do we give him? Anthony Smith? That fight could be right there. Alonzo Menafield takes on Carlos Uleberg in a couple weeks, so I think the winner of that could be a potential option for Mr. Uzbekistan boy. But yeah, good win, Bogdan. I'm happy to see you getting it done. Ryan Spann, no idea what to do with you from here. Probably an unranked opponent. Rematch Dominic Reyes or something. Come on. You've gotten opportunity after opportunity. It just hasn't paid off for you. But, that's all we got from the men's light heavyweight division. Bogdan Guskov. You gotta look him up, bro. His bald, bro, looks like the most nonchalant dude. But no, he's a killer. Multiple knockouts, multiple finishes. He gets it done. And I'll also tell you who got it done as we get a shocker in the main event. Shades of Ito Pura knocking out Volkanovski in the same type of combo as number 8 Alex Perez on short notice knocks out number 5 ranked Matthias Nikalu with just a beautiful combo to the body, to the face. Matthias goes slump, couple follow-up punches, and that was that. Alex Perez back in the win column for the first time since June of 2020. It's been so long, Alex, but he gets it done. He last fought March 2nd, took this fight on short notice, and it paid off tenfold. Made a $50K performance bonus. Honestly, I can't help but be anything happy for Alex Perez. He's an electric guy. He's fun to watch when he's heating up. Not in his last 3 when he's just getting out grappled to death. But yes, Alex, yes. Matthias Nkalu, 2-fight losing streak now, been knocked out in both. That's tough. That is super tough. Perez, I don't know how the rankings are going to work. Because Perez just lost to the number 7 ranked guy, but just knocked out the number 5 guy. So how do we fix this? We move Matthias Nkalu down to the number 8 spot. We move Manel Cape up to 5, Muhammad Mokaev up to 6, Alex Perez goes up to 7, and we have Matthias Nkalu at 8. I think that's perfect. I think that's a great way to rearrange things. And Alex Perez, what do we do next with this guy? Coming in on short notice, knocking out a guy. I mean, I'm rewarding him with maybe a Manel Cape fight. I know that fight has been waiting to get booked for some time. We could give him Kai Kara France. I think that's a good option. Even Amir Albazi, I would do. I think there's options here. Matthias Nkalu, I mean, Steve Erceg, if he loses, that could be a fight to make. Number 12 ranked Tigger Lembekov, the winner of Joshua Van and Tatsuo Taira. There's options out there for these fighters. Oh, man. Alex Perez coming in with a bang. A great knockout. Go check it out on the gram, on the Twitter. It was electric. It was absolutely electric. And when we get electric KOs, we get hype. We get excited. We get happy. And that's what we had. So good job to this Apex event. Was it the best of the year? No, I think there's been at least 2 better for sure. This may be the 3rd best Apex event. When the fights are ending quick, that's when I'm excited. So the big hit today was round 2 knockout. We had 3 round 2 knockouts on the card. In total, we had 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. So, I mean, honestly, not too bad of a day in the office. 7 of the 13 fights are finishes. That's 50%. Can't really beat that. No, you cannot. Good job. Good stuff from UFC Vegas 91. We will definitely leave it in the past. But the best moments of the night for me, gotta be the Eros Medic knockout, the Alex Perez knockout, Bogdan Guskov knockout, and Hernan Diaz. I mean, they nailed it. With your performance in the nights, all 4 performance in the nights were all worthy as they were great KOs. So, man, I would get this. The card itself is still a 5 out of 10, but that's better than the 2s and 3s we were giving out for some of the other events. Just, they were bad. They were so bad. We've been dealing with some really bad events. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what occurs. We'll see what happens next for all these fighters. I'll tell you what is happening next Saturday, UFC 301. Am I that excited? No. I'll be working all day. I'll be a busy bee making some money. But nonetheless, this is still an amazing card. We have some great fights on here. Ishmael Bonfim is back as he takes on Vink Pichel, which is beautifully set up for Ishmael Bonfim to get a killer finish. You also have the debut of Mauricio Ruffy over Jamie Malarkey, the return of Jakar Close, the return of Gene Silva as he takes on William Gomez, Elvis Brenner, and Matipek Orobai. That is a killer fight for unranked lightweights. You then head the men's featherweight division. Johanderson Burrito's back, taking on Jack Shore. Ranked middleweights, Paul Craig takes on the surging Kyle Barallo. The 7-fight win streak of Michel Pereira is put on the line as he takes on Ior Potera on short notice. The undefeated Vitor Petrino gets a chance up the rankings as he takes on the number 10 ranked Anthony Smith. We're rooting for Vitor in that. The co-main event, the return of the great Jose Aldo as he takes on number 13th ranked in the men's bantamweight division, Jonathan Martinez. In the main event, your men's flyweight champion, Alexander Pantoja, currently the number 10 pound-for-pound athlete in the world, takes on the number 10 ranked flyweight, Steve Erceg. It should be fun. It's in front of a crowd. I'll tune in if I can. I'm just here to enjoy it. If anything, it should be fun. But I'll also be checking in on the NBA and NHL throughout the next few days, trying to maybe do a better analyst for our next episode. But we will be back Thursday. Episode 89. We'll be dropping our predictions for 301. Maybe even do some form of ranking or something. I can always cook something up. Lots been going on, though. It's a busy time of year. And I mean, I went from being able to make 2 videos with guests to not be able to make videos for a week, or podcasts, I should say. And I'll say the recording is harder than I thought. I was trying to do StreamYard. I, of course, bought it. I was thinking about just leveling up the whole podcast, making reels and stuff. It's a lot harder than people make it out to be. I think that's why shows hire other people to do it for them. I can't do that financially. So, I mean, if anyone wants to make reels for me and film it for free, let me know. But you know what? For now, I'm content with our simple little podcast. I enjoy it. I enjoy a little podcast here. But that'll do it, honestly. And that'll do it. It was a simple episode. And I just had to get back in the rhythm, if you will. Sometimes when you're out of the game for a while, you can't come back with a banger episode. You gotta come back with just a little work me and work back into it. And I think that's what this episode was. Obviously, playoffs are raging on. Great shows are coming out. Actually, I'm pumped for that Kingdom Planet of the Apes movie. I've been rewatching the current Planet of the Apes movies. Oh, Caesar's my favorite character of all time. I think he's just so amazing. So amazing. Can't wait to watch that next week and give an official review. I'm excited for the things to come. The future looks bright. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I will make sure to catch you all next time on the Surprise Jab Podcast.